Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to walk through from start to finish creating our opportunity, connecting it to our DocuSign room, loading in our documents, our forms, and filling them out and sending them out for signature. Now we're only going to spend 30 seconds filling them out. We're not going to complete them. This is not a contracts advice or broker class. This is simply getting those contracts and sending them out for signature. So almost everything we cover in this extended video here is broken apart into smaller segments inside of this playlist if you are looking for something specific and not the whole process from start to finish. So we are inside of Command. We're inside of our Opportunities tab, and we're going to go ahead and create an opportunity. Again, this does two things. One, it adds someone to our sales pipeline, and it gives us the ability to connect to DocuSign so that we can send out contracts for signature. So again, best practice, we've already had this person in our pipeline before we're ready to see homes, but that's not always possible. So I'm going to go ahead and add my two clients. Super important step here, guys. When it says opportunity type, this sounds really basic, but you've got to select the right one here. Listing or buyer. If we select the wrong one, we can't change it later, and you will have to archive that opportunity and create a new opportunity inside of Command. So I'm going to choose a buyer for this one. We always want to make sure that the opportunity name is labeled with the street address first, and anything after that you want to put is perfectly okay. This will help compliance or your office talk to you and communicate about a specific opportunity, because that's how they're going to search for it. We'll put in our commission rate and our budget here. These numbers are really for projecting in our pipeline income here. And then we're going to go ahead and create, and we're inside of our opportunity. We're going to move over into the Documents tab, and we're going to do a very important step just here. You've already heard one important step, and there's going to be three today. The second important step is hitting this Start a Transaction. Once I hit Start a Transaction, it is going to create a room that is named the same as my opportunity name, and anything I do within this room, I can bring those documents into my opportunity very easily. What you do not want to do is log in and go to DocuSign.com and create a room and start filling out documents. Because if you do that, you'll have to download those documents and upload them to Command, because the two are not connected together. So let's go ahead and add our contracts. Again, we've already connected our NRDS number to get our state forms into our system. We'll go ahead and just real quick add just a few documents. We'll add the purchase and sale, a conventional exhibit, and a backup exhibit. There we go. So we now have these three documents inside of our room. We're always checking this Details tab, and the main thing we're checking inside of the Details tab is, do I have my buyer information, mainly their name and email address, ready to go so that I can use pre-tagged roles, and of course checking sellers if it was a seller opportunity. We come back into Documents, and real quick we are just going to add a tiny little bit of information to this offer. A very simple amount. So property address. Okay, that is all we are going to do. And of course it did populate the budget over here as well, so make sure that we correct that. And you'll see we're going to save and close, and you'll notice that a little bit of the information that we gave the system inside of the purchase and sale is going to show up inside of the conventional exhibit as well. You can see the address translated over and transferred over to that additional document. That is all we're going to do when it comes to filling out the contracts. This is not a contract or broker advice class. This is simply how to use DocuSign efficiently. So we are happy that we filled out our documents correctly and we have everything ready. The next thing we've got to do is create the envelope to get sent out for signature, and it's super simple. When we hover over a document, you'll notice that a little circle appears in the top left, and I can check that circle. And when I check at least one of those documents, this bar appears at the top, and we're looking for the pen to go ahead and create an envelope. And when I create an envelope, there's a few steps that we're going to take from within this next screen. The first one, we're going to go ahead and rearrange the documents to make sure that they are in the order that I wish. The next thing that we're going to do, we are going to tell the system who the buyers are and who the agents are. And I said there's 3 important steps that you've really got to remember. This is the 3rd step right here, everyone. Add recipient, pre-tagged roles. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Pre-tagged roles. This is what you will always click, and you'll see why you always click this option in just a minute. Once I select it, it's going to say, who is a buyer 1? And I'll tell the system who buyer 1 is, who buyer 2 is, and who the buyer's agent is. Of course, if we were on a seller opportunity, we would just tell it who the sellers are. And you'll notice that we are populating our buyer 1, 2, and agent. Here on the left side, we have ones next to all of them. So when we send this out for signature, it will go out to all 3, and it doesn't matter what order they need to sign it in. If there's a specific document that has to be signed by a certain party first, before a second party can sign, that is when you could maybe say buyer 1 has to sign first. This person has to sign second, and it won't get sent to this person, buyer 2, until buyer 1 has signed it. Typically speaking, if someone's got to sign before another person, it's one party, like the seller has to sign the lead-based paint form before our buyers can sign it. So we're probably not sending it to both within this opportunity. If we need to add an additional signer, this is how we will do it. You'll give it the email address and the name. For this example, we're not going to. This is going to be how your clients receive their email. And again, this isn't the first time they've seen a contract from us, because we've sat down and we had a great buyer consult with them. We touched on the highlights of the contracts. We sent them home with copies, and we sent them a little email that summarized what the main parts of the contracts are, and asked them ahead of time before we went out and looked to see did they have any questions about the contract. That way we've set the expectations up front, we've handled any objections, and when it comes time and they find that right home, they're ready and confident to make a fast and strong offer. So again, we've rearranged the documents and we have selected pre-tagged roles. We're then going to go next, and we are going to load those contracts that we already completed and filled out on one of the previous screens. And I mentioned that the main reason why we want to use pre-tag roles is that it's going to automatically assign initial and signature fields for us. So we told it who buyer 1 and 2 is, and DocuSign knows where buyer 1 and buyer 2 is supposed to sign right here. Buyer, and agent. So as an agent, we won't sign from this screen. We will sign it in just a second. If we had added that 3rd additional signer, DocuSign doesn't know where the 3rd person would sign. So up in the top left, we would have to select that person, and then we would drag over a signature field for them. So I'm happy right now, and I am ready to send this contract out to my clients to sign. So I'm going to hit send right now, and it should work, even though I have given it a fake email address. And right here, you can see we've flipped from the document tab to the envelope tab. The document tab is always going to house those contracts that we filled out, and once our clients sign them, we will still have a copy of the contract that is unsigned for if we need to make any changes or any edits. Inside of the envelope, you can see we've got a little action that is required. It says needs my signature. So you can go through your email to sign it, but if I click on it right now, I have the ability to sign it, and we're going to click that in just a second. From this screen, you also have the ability to void and recall a document. Maybe you made a mistake on it. Maybe the buyer last second said, you know what, let's offer $5,000 more to win this home. When you do hit void, it does ask for a reason why. So we let them know, hey, I'm going to resend you an updated contract in just a minute. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign as the agent. And the view that we're looking at now is the exact same view as your clients will experience on their end. So I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to hit that start button, and it's going to take me to the spot that I need to sign. And then I'm simply going to hit finish. And I, as the agent, am done signing. As soon as my clients are done signing, I will receive an email that says, congratulations, your documents are signed. Your signed document is attached to this email, and we can simply click download, and then we can attach it to our offer. So again, our main steps, we were inside of command and we hit the start a transaction. You'll see that it's now go to a transaction because we have linked the two together by clicking that button. We then used our pre-tagged rows. Again, another super important step, because pre-tagged rows assigned all of the signature fields in the correct places. And right in the beginning, we made sure that we selected the buyer or the seller opportunity correctly. So again, this was more of an extended video from start to finish of sending out those offers. Make sure you check out some of the shorter videos inside of this playlist as well. And if you're having any trouble with DocuSign, make sure you're attending our monthly DocuSign trainings. Reach out to your Market Center Tech trainer and schedule a one-on-one appointment with them, and they will walk you through DocuSign start to finish. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.